We are live from Studio A inside Gaylord College at the University of Oklahoma, ready to talk all things Sooner sports. And we have OU women's golf joining us tonight. OU football showed there ain't no love, even in a city full of the brotherly kind. I'm your host, Hayden Tyler. I'm joined by Cam Williams and Hallie McPherson, and this is Sooner Sports Pad.
Welcome to Sooner Sports Pad, presented by OU Health. Proud to be Oklahoma's flagship academic health system.
Well, it was quite the weekend for the Crimson and Cream. The OU football team took on Philly, and so did our Sports Pad reporters. They'll have reports from the city of brotherly love. But football isn't the only sport we're talking about. You could say we are on par with our student-athlete guests tonight. We'll also bring you what you need to know about other OU teams performing at a high level. But first, for the first time since World War II, the Sooners took on Temple in Philly.
That's a long time ago.
Sooners ready for war, and it all starts in the trenches. Javante Barnes takes this one up the middle. It's a 3-yard touchdown and a great celebration from Javante as the Sooners open the scoring early. He makes it 7-0. Or does he? Jaron Kanik, the linebacker, turns tight end, and on this play, the quarterback throws a 2-point conversion to the punter, Jacob Ulrich. It is 8-0 Sooners. The top to the third quarter. It's the Fresh Prince of Oklahoma, John Mateer, a 51-yard touchdown. There weren't any fans in the area, no Temple Owls in the area. 51-yard touchdown would seal the deal, 42-3. I mean, guys, this one got so bad that John Mateer would come out, Michael Hawkins would come in.
That's right. OU had an efficient offensive performance over the weekend, gaining 515 yards compared to Temple's 104, and also scored 42 points before the fourth quarter. I was there in Philly getting a closer look at the quick offensive start in the game. This may have been a new OU and Temple team, but still the same results as last season. A Sooner win, but with a new quarterback. John Mateer threw for 281 yards along with 2 touchdowns, and the Sooners proved this was no trap game.
It's going to keep getting better. I'll keep getting better, and our chemistry and everything is going to keep improving. That's why you play the games. You know, practice is great, but the game reps are you need it.
Said you got to be ready to bring it every day. Conference play is about to start, kicking off, going to be underway. So again, we got to attack our process. It's the next opponent coming up. All right, so we got to attack our process, stay true to it, and keep on building on the things that we can build on.
I think just efficient. Again, no badge of honor or anything like that, or chest thumping. But that's not easy to do either. So I don't want to diminish the ability to execute, to complement one another, to be ready to compete.
Next up for OU is Auburn back in the Palace, and not only is this the first conference game for the Sooners, but a familiar face, Jackson Arnold, comes back into Norman for the first time with his new squad. Reporting from Lincoln Financial Field, Hallie McPherson, Sooner Sports Pad. This OU offense has had a fast start on the ground and through the air, making it easy for the Sooners to score in their first 4 possessions. Freshman Tori Blaylock led all running backs, running with 100 yards and 2 touchdowns on 14 carries. And wide receiver Isaiah Satania recorded a career-high 7 catches for 97 yards.
Now, Hallie, on the defensive side of the ball, Oklahoma has been lights out to start this 2025 season. They rank first in the SEC in total defense, scoring defense, and first downs allowed. Sooner Sports Pad reporter Darby McCormick has more on OU's hot defensive start.
It was a big day in Philadelphia when OU took on the Temple Owls, and not just because it's been 41 years since the Sooners have played in the state of Pennsylvania. It was because Kendall Dolby got to play for the first time since his injury in the Tennessee game last season. And it's safe to say the Team 131 was happy to have him back.
How cool was that for me, man? I want to make a grown man cry. Just proud of him, everything that he's had to overcome. A very significant injury. To see him back out there this week in practice, and in pregame I had to say, man, you need to pull back. My man was wide open in pregame, and but it was great for him and going to be good for us, moving forward.
That's my guy, Kendall Dolby, and to see him, we really talked before the game as a team, talk about how it's 1 year back, and that this game means so much to him, and for it to mean so much to him means so much to us because we're all a big brotherhood. So watching him go out there and play his heart out, it just made us feel so much better.
It means the world, you know what I'm saying? It's almost been a year since my injury, so being able to get back out there, move around a little bit, it means the world to me. I'm truly thankful to be back out there. Things ain't go the way I wanted to. You know, I prepared to be back first game, Illinois State, but God had other plans, and, you know, I just stuck to the script, stuck to the plan, and I feel like it's going to pay off, and like I said, I'm thankful to be back out here today.
OU's defense needs to be firing on all cylinders because R. Mason Thomas will be sitting out the first half of the Auburn game due to his targeting call against Temple. Reporting from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Darby McCormick, Sooner Sports Pad.
Versus Temple, the Sooner defense only allowed 3 points, 78 yards passing, and 28 yards rushing. Mike Boganowski, Reggie Powers, and Sammy Omasigo all had big plays that ignited the Sooner defense, who was ranked 4th nationally, and their aggressive play should translate in SEC play.
Well, coming up, we'll talk everything Auburn Tigers as they make their first ever trip to Norman. We'll have an in-depth look at one Sooner who has come out of nowhere and is making huge plays defensively. Keep it here.
Welcome back to Sooner Sports Pad. We aren't anywhere close to done. There's been a few Sooners worthy of the spotlight this year.
But our host, Aiden Tyler, has all the details on one player who has exceeded all expectations. Aiden?
That's right. OU football has greatly benefited from the play of former walk-on transfer linebacker Owen Heineke. 4 years ago, he was playing lacrosse at Michigan's rival, and now he's beating Michigan in football with OU. But Heineke's story is just so much deeper than that.
This has been my dream since I was little. My uncle played here, and from the moment I can remember, I was in OU gear. So to be able to run out on the field is what I've always dreamed of, and I knew that I wasn't going to get there sitting on the sideline, so I had to take it.
Sorry for those technical difficulties. Owen Heineke adds his name to the list of Sooner walk-ons to make huge impacts. He's got 11 tackles, which are 4th on the team, and 2 pass deflections, which put him 2nd on the Sooners. And the Sooners may need him to slow down Jackson Arnold on Saturday. Jackson Arnold, he left OU for Auburn, and perhaps he needed it. He already has more rushing touchdowns with the Tigers than he did all of last season when he was playing for OU. Auburn is averaging 242 yards rushing a game, and Jackson Arnold is averaging 64 of those yards. The former 5-star is playing with a healthy roster, looks more confident, and looks impressive with Auburn sitting at 3-0. Jackson knows the game won't be easy, but he is excited for his Oklahoma reunion.
It's going to be a tough one. Coach Venables is a fantastic defensive coach and great defensive mind. He'll throw some stuff my way, which I probably won't be expecting, but you just roll with the punches and go from there. I think it'll be fun. Obviously a little weird being on the opposite sideline, but I'm excited to go out there and play in a stadium that I love to watch games in, I love to play games in, so I'm extremely excited for that game.
Jackson Arnold's return has been heavily anticipated since the SEC schedule was released. Last year, the Sooners won this game without Arnold in a nail-biter. Cam, what is Auburn doing that the Sooners need to stop in order to repeat last year's result?
Yeah, Aiden, this Auburn attack comes into Norman ranked 11th in total offense and 15th in passing offense in the SEC. Their one strong suit, though, running the football. The Tigers are ranked 3rd in the SEC in rushing, with running back Jeremiah Cobb averaging 6.8 yards per carry, and former Sooner quarterback Jackson Arnold is leading the SEC in total rushing yards for a quarterback through 3 weeks. Sooner standout safety Robert Spears-Jennings knows it'll be a tall task for the Sooners defense this week.
I feel like it's going to be a high-intense game. Jackson and the Eagles, Auburn, they've won 3 games, beat a ranked Baylor. They're rolling right now. They have all confidence in Jackson, and I would too if I was them. Very explosive, fast. And then Cam Comey, he's 6'3", 203, so he's like a big body guy that can go get the ball and he can run routes. So I feel like all the receiver core has their pros and cons, but I feel like they have a lot of pros to them.
Now, on the defensive side for Auburn, they are ranked 10th in rush defense nationally, and John Mateer has been active with running the ball. Auburn does struggle with passing defense, so it's time for Mateer to send it in the air and get the ball to his receivers. Last weekend, the Tigers struggled against South Alabama, missing 15 tackles and allowing them to score 15 points. But no matter the stats, the Sooners are still preparing like it is the most important game of the season.
I mean, it's different players and different teams we play each week. I mean, we prepare for each team like it's the playoffs, regardless who it is. So I wouldn't say we're prepared for them any other way that we did Illinois State or Michigan or Temple. We're just taking it day by day and week by week.
Well, the story of the game is that Jackson Arnold returns to the Palace Saturday. Brent Venables knows his every strength and weakness. I think Jackson Arnold crumbles. Sooners win this one by 20.
On this one, Jackson Arnold left for greener grass, but he hasn't seen this Oklahoma defense on the opposite side of the turf in a live game. I've got the Sooners 31-13.
Auburn has never beat OU, and I don't think it'll happen this weekend. This is too much pressure for Arnold to handle. Sooners gonna win.
Yeah, well, now we know what our analysts think, but I'm interested to know what our crowd thinks. My buddy Landon here, who do you think is going to stand out on the defensive side of the ball to halt the Auburn attack that has been hitting good?
Aiden, I think that Peyton Bowen's going to have a great performance against the Tigers. I think he's going to go out there and get a pick. It's going to be a good game for this Sooner defense. It's hard to go against them in the air. Peyton Bowen, that's my answer.
Well, that's his former high school teammate, by the way, at Dayton Geyer. Ethan, you're over here. What do you think Jackson Arnold's able to do against the Sooner defense? Do you think he plays well?
I see him fumbling a couple of times. I see a flashback to Missouri when he fumbled away the game. I got a War Eagle call, Tiger call. Sooners by 50.
Well, some interesting takes there. And coming up after the break, Cam and Hallie have an exclusive interview with two OU women's golfers looking to start their season hot. Stick with us. Welcome back. We've talked a ton of OU football, but let's let another team who is swinging into the start of their season do some talking. Welcome OU women's golf. Joining us today is Savannah Barber and Audrey Risher from OU Women's Golf. Savannah is a senior from Fort Worth, Texas, who's competed in 35 total events with 1 career win. Audrey's a sophomore from Columbia, Missouri, who finished with 4 top 5s and 1 win as a freshman. Now we know our guests. Cam, Hallie, take it away.
Thank y'all so much for joining us back at Sooner Sports Pad. Now, Toby Keith founded the Schooner Fall Classic. What does that mean to y'all, and have y'all ever got to meet Toby Keith?
Yes, it's so great to have his support out there. 3 years ago, he was out there. We got to meet him and spend some time with him, so it was really cool.
We're very lucky to have that support. I came in a year after, so I was never able to meet him, but still very grateful for everything he did for our program.
Is there a specific team you guys are excited to go against at the Schooner Classic?
Probably, it's kind of funny, probably OSU. We're pretty close with those girls.
It's fun to play against them.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, are there any pro golfers y'all look up to?
I would say Nelly Corda. She's been #1 for a long time, and just watching her game, it's really inspirational.
Yeah, my inspiration is Brooke Henderson. I had like a really cool interaction with her when I was little, and she really like impacted how I view golf, and she really made me like want to be really good. So, yeah.
Now, Savannah, you are a senior. What's it like being a leader in your locker room?
It's been great. Try to lead by example, I would say, just to work hard and keep your head down.
And what are some things that people may not know about golf?
Probably that it's more mental than physical.
Very mental.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really important to have a good, strong mental game.
Yeah.
And I bet y'all get a lot of steps in as well.
Oh,
yes,
sure.
it's a little bit harder than you think.
Now, do you guys have any like pregame superstitions you guys do or anything like that?
I only play with a 1 or 2, like a Titleist 1 or 2 golf ball.
Okay.
But
I wear my hair the same every time I play.
Every time?
Every time, yeah.
And what is that?
I wear a hat and I wear a messy bun.
Now, is there any course that has been your favorite that y'all have ever played on?
We just got back from Pebble Beach, and that was a super cool experience. A lot of history there and just a beautiful place, so that's probably our favorite.
For sure, I agree with that one. It is stunning out there, and the competition is really good.
Now, going back to the golf ball, can you talk a little bit about like why that is your superstition? Go a little bit more into that.
You know, I've always just played with a Titleist 1 and 2, and then I always mark it with a red dot, red line, and I've done that since junior golf, so.
Okay. I bet your record is pretty good with it too, huh?
I guess so.
Now, what time did y'all start playing golf? Like at what age?
I started playing golf when I was 4. My older brother started playing, and I just wanted to do everything that he did, and then it turned into I want to be better than him, so.
Yeah. I started when I was 7. My middle sister also was playing in high school at the time, so I would just go out and practice with the high school team when I was little, and then that kind of kick-started me.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. I hope you have a great rest of your season. We're going to send it back to Aiden.
Thank you. Thank you.
OU Women's Golf competes in the 13th annual Schooner Fall Classic Saturday through Monday, and admission is free for all fans. Okay. And when we return, we'll talk some more Sooner sports that are worthy of the spotlight. Stick with us because there's still a lot more fun to be had. Welcome back to Sooner Sports Pad. Earlier in the show, we had a little bit of technical difficulties trying to hear about Owen Heineke's story from playing lacrosse to walking onto the Sooner football team. But here he is talking about what that journey means.
This has been my dream since I was little. My uncle played here, and from the moment I can remember, I was in OU gear. So to be able to run out on the field is what I've always dreamed of. And I knew that I wasn't going to get there sitting on the sideline, so I had to take a chance on myself and bet on myself. And that came at the expense of Coach V's patience, and but it worked out.
He would really piss me off because there's a very calculated rotation. And then he'd get in there, and he'll be the first one to tell you. He'd go in there, and he would not be where he's supposed to be, and then that would make me even more mad. But I kind of liked him doing that, and he kept doing it, you know. And I didn't look at it as disrespectful. I just saw it as a guy that, man, I know I can do something. So really, he believes in himself, and he's made a believer out of everybody.
I love Owen. Like, Owen's my dude. And to see him come from Ohio State lacrosse player to making plays out here on this football field is really inspiring to me, honestly.
Yeah, just an absolutely incredible journey that Owen Heineke took. But I think it's time we talk about some other OU teams who are just getting the job done. I'll start us off with a team who is serving L's to their competition. It's OU volleyball. The Sooners hosted St. Mary's over the weekend. The Gales probably should have just stayed home in the Bay Area and enjoyed the sun. The Sooners swept Saturday night's match, taking the first set 25-19, the second 25-20, and then the final set 25-21. Amani Bush and Alexis Shelton combined for 34 kills as they sent the Gales home packing. OU volleyball moves to 7-1 and hosts Central Arkansas Thursday night.
You know, we didn't want to go to 5 sets with them, and you know, they had a pretty substantial lead late in the fourth, and I think it could have been easy to kind of fold and take it to a 5th set, but I'm really proud of the group for going on that run at the end. Amani had some really tough serves. We had a couple key blocks, and it's what you want to see out of a team when it gets late in sets.
OU men's golf team will be back in action looking to secure their first win of the season. The Sooners opened play at the inaugural Invitational at the Honors Course at the Pete Dye designed course with 36 holes. OU is coming off a 3rd place finish at the season opening Carmel Cup. Play will begin Monday morning with tee time set for 7:30 a.m., closing with the final round on Tuesday.
We're going to stay with the swing, Hallie, and check on OU men's tennis. The Sooners coming into this week traveling to Fayetteville, Arkansas, where they will be competing in the M15 Fayetteville Professional Tournament from September 15th through the 21st. Also, Luis Alvarez, Oral Kimi, and Jordan Hassan competed in the Davis Cup last week, which was a team event for the national teams in which college athletes represent their respective countries.
Well, coming up on Sooner Sports Pad, our 2 analysts will turn from friends to foes in face-off. Keep it here for my favorite part of the show. Well, it's time for my favorite part of the show, Face Off. Our 2 analysts will go head-to-head in a debate with our in-studio audience determining our winner. Let's go ahead and get it started. The OU football team put up their most points under Ben Arbuckle Saturday against the Owls. Hallie, who do you believe was responsible for all that offensive success?
Aiden, come on. The SEC Freshman of the Week, obviously. Tori Blaylock, the true freshman out of Humble, Texas, has made a major impact on this offense. And like I said earlier, Blaylock rushed 14 times for 100 yards, adding 2 touchdowns. Ultimately, he has totaled a team-high 166 yards on 31 carries, leading the running back room.
Hallie, Blaylock has been a nice story, but it hasn't been better than Jaron Kanik. The converted linebackers leading not just OU, not just the SEC, but the whole nation in receiving yards for tight ends with 245 yards. And Kanik has been a force in the run game, giving multiple key blocks on John Mateer touchdown runs. Well,
the Sooner defense has given up just 1 touchdown in 3 games. It's kind of insane. Cam, which defender caught your eye the most in Saturday's contest?
Yeah, Aiden, I'm going to have to go with the ultra-hybrid playmaking safety, Reggie Powers. The sophomore from Centerville, Ohio, registered his first career sack in the win versus Temple, and he's been getting more and more opportunities to make plays in the back end of this defense. Watch out for more Powers.
I mean, you can't really go wrong when choosing from this defense, but I am going with the return that even Coach Brent Venables said could make a grown man cry. Kendall Dolby made a return for the first time since his devastating ankle injury last season. Dolby tied for the lead in tackles with 4 and adding a tackle for loss.
Yeah, there we go. I absolutely love those picks, and I don't think Saturday's result was too shocking to anybody, but I know there's been a few surprises so far this season. Hallie, what was your biggest surprise of the game against Temple?
How about the OU coaching staff's best trick yet? The Sooners score on first possession of the game and then line up for the 2-point conversion. Jaron Kanek turns quarterback and lobs the ball to punter Jacob Ulrich. I don't think anyone had Ulrich scoring a 2-point conversion on their bingo cards.
Yeah, Hallie, the 2-point conversion was definitely unexpected, but the Sooners not forcing a turnover in the first 3 games of the season is even more mind-boggling. This Crimson and Cream defense has been everywhere on all 3 levels, but I did expect a turnover or 2 versus Temple.
Man, this is a very tough one for our audience to decide. I think we're getting down to closing arguments, and I think it's going to be about what you're looking ahead to against Auburn. Cam, what is your final argument to convince this audience?
Yeah, Aiden, I'm all for this running back by committee thing, but Oklahoma paid Jaden Ott to be the workhorse back in this offense, and he just hasn't been producing, quite frankly, at all. The Cal transfer has only 9 carries for 17 yards in the first 3 games of the season. Can he get anything going soon is the real question.
I hope so.
Come on, there's one thing that everyone is talking about today, and it's Jackson Arnold making his return to Norman for the first time with his new team to open up SEC play. And on top of that, Auburn has never beaten OU or played in Norman. There's an immense pressure on Arnold, and it has fans going crazy to see the outcome.
Well, it's time for the audience to decide. If you think Cam won, let me hear some noise. If you think it was Hallie, let me hear you. Guys, that's a very, very close call, but I think our first face-off winner of the year is going to be Hallie McPherson. She's going to start off 1-0. Maybe Cam can tie it up 1-1. Thanks for watching Sooners Sports Pad. For Cam Williams and Hallie McPherson, I'm Aiden Tyler. We'll see you next Tuesday. Good night.